2021 Lamborghini Huracán STO First Drive, Speed Racer. But before we start, please support us by pressing the like and subscribe buttons, so that we can continue to provide information about car and motorcycle news. Also turn on the bell button to get the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you.
Willow Springs International Raceway's large track, a.k.a. Big Willow, is a scary thing.
It might not look too intimidating, but the complete lack of paved runoffs or gravel traps, the sharp drops off the edge of the pavement, and the high speeds you achieve mean you do not want to leave the surface for any reason, because it rarely ends well. Most street cars feel sketchy through at least half the 9 corners even when you get your line perfect. The 2021 Lamborghini Huracán STO isn't most street cars. It's an actual race car for the road. Race car for the road is a heinously overused term and rarely accurate. The vast majority of street cars are nothing like actual racers, not in the way they drive nor in the performance they're capable of. Even when a street vehicle car is turned into a racing machine, say for international GT class competition, the track modifications mostly go one way. For the Huracán STO, the acronym means something more than marketing. STO stands for Super Trofeo Omologata, and Omologata is Italian for homologated. The most famous homologated cars are the rarest ones, street cars built solely to satisfy a racing series rule that entrants must be based on a model regular people can buy. Usually, no more than a few hundred are built, each wildly impractical for street use and only barely road legal. The Huracán STO took a more circuitous route, being based on a street-legal Huracán Evo that's then modified for Lamborghini's one-make Super Trofeo Racing Series and for the International GT3 Endurance Racing class. Then Lamborghini transferred as many of those racing modifications back to the Huracán Evo as possible in creating the STO. Hitting the track. As such, the STO does not go around Big Willow like a street car. It's evident from the first corner. In a car with 630 horsepower and 417 pounds-to-foot of torque, you'll see nearly 160 miles per hour on the front straight before braking for 90-degree turn 1, which is an 80-mile-per-hour sweeper if you do it right. Cutting your speed in half on a bumpy track, and Big Willow is very bumpy, is always exciting, especially when the runoff is a launch ramp up the dirt hill toward turn 3. The STO dances around a bit under maximum braking, but it never feels like it's trying to get away from you, just keep you on your toes. Not that you aren't already on them. Pushing the braking point into turn 1 is always a thrill, and you have to remember to pull 2 downshifts because, like a real race car, the gear changes are up to you. Turn 2 in most street cars requires a stab of braking at entry to knock off some of the speed you picked up on the short straight, but the STO needs just a brush of the pedal to put the weight on the nose. With enough familiarity, you could probably get away with just lifting. The exit of turn 2 is slightly off camber, so you inevitably push wide to the left side of the track if you go to the throttle immediately after a late apex. In a car with less grip, this can feel woolly, but despite how much the track-oriented suspension is bouncing you around in the driver's seat, even with the 4-point belt cinched tight, the car feels perfectly stable and confident staying hard in the throttle and riding it out so you can go wide open before the turn 3 braking zone. That's another spot you need to scrub a lot of speed, but in the right car, you can really push the braking point. In the STO, it's far closer to the uphill left-hander than any other streetable car. When you do whip it into the turn, a little too much trail braking or getting back to the throttle a bit too early can result in lap time ruining oversteer. Even if that happens, the STO is so predictable it's not the least bit scary. The purpose-built Bridgestone Potenza race rubber breaks away beautifully at the limit and lets you play with rear grip in ways you don't always want to in high-powered, rear-drive cars like this. Electronic tonic. The STO also lets you cheat a bit. Its driving modes have been renamed STO, Trofeo, and Pioggia, the first being some semblance of a street mode, the second a track mode, and the third a wet mode. Each has its own stability control settings. Trofeo's program is pretty liberal. Meant as an aid rather than a guardrail, it'll catch the slide after a certain amount of rotation and prevent you from looping the car, but it won't make any effort to straighten things out for you. Knowing this, you can get away with sloppy driving by riding out the slide on the escape and not losing much time. Of course, you could turn escape off. If we had Randy Pobst here setting a hot lap, maybe we would. For a professional amateur such as an automotive journalist, there's no need to try to be a hero, not at the risk of being the person that writes off the $327,838 car, before options. You can lean on the electronics leaving turn 4, as well, where the track goes slightly off camber just past the apex of the tight right-hander, and it's easy to unload the rear end trying to get back on the throttle for the run down the hill to turn 5. Do it right and you can push all the way to the left side of the track in a nice little drift as you point the car toward the next corner. Turn 5 is even more off camber, and like turn 3 it only takes a mite too much trail braking to get a car sideways. Some other car, anyways. The STO's Bridgestones have too much grip for that, which is good because it makes it easier to set up for the jump in turn 6.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.